Here we go. Alright, so polynomials. We want to look at polynomial division. So if you remember, the main point with polynomial division is to eventually write our polynomial, which is in P of X form, as a product of its factors with any constant remaining. Okay, so if I gave you, for instance, just like before, x squared plus 4x plus 4, we could write that as x plus 2 and x plus 2, for instance, and then we can simplify that as x plus 2 all squared, where we would say that x plus 2 is its factor, and we would say that x equals to minus 2 is a solution, or is a zero of that. So when I sub in minus 2 into my polynomial, it should equal to 0, of course, because that's my constant, right? There should be no constants at all. If it's a factor. If it's not a factor, well then obviously there should be a bit of a constant there, for instance. Okay, so what we learned is, what if we don't know our other factor, and what if we have polynomials higher than degree 2? What if we have them as cubics and quartics, and we want to divide it by a certain factor? So we learned that we can write, or we can use polynomial division, and we can actually write the factors in this kind of way. So let's learn polynomial division again. Now, a good thing that I didn't say last week, and I do want to point it out right now, I guess, is now if I have, for instance, dividing by a linear, right, my constant term should be 1 degree less. So whatever you divide by, so that's a little clue that I'm going to write here. Whatever you divide by, and I'll write divide by, for instance, x to the power of n, right? Your constant term should be 1 power less, so x to the power of n minus 1. That's a good trick to know, because the harder questions try to usually ask for finding this constant term, and for instance, what you're dividing by is x squared plus 2x plus 4, you're dividing by that, right? You're dividing by that. X squared plus 2x plus 4. And then I see a lot of students try to write their constants as c, whereas their constant was meant to be in the form of ax plus b. What did you die for? Hasn't done it all day. Ax, you're back. Ax plus b.